After a massive green arrow on my free hit, I'm now in the top 100,000, and a big thank you to Foden differential and a triple Villa clean sheet. If you missed that free hit video, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future videos like that. Just a quick one before I reveal my team. Today's sponsor is Fantasy 4, where you can win free cash prizes every game week. More on that later. Starting with the goalkeeper position, the free hit landed perfectly last game week when Nick Pope didn't play. I just hope he plays against Spurs at home. Newcastle have got some very favourable fixtures coming up, and I will discuss that shortly, along with potential replacements for Pope if he's ruled out. If he's not 100% ruled out and just doubtful, I will have to take that risk. I really don't want Dubravka coming in off the bench because I don't trust that Burnley defence, and I do think Palace will wipe that clean sheet, but at least he's got the home advantage. I just hope it doesn't land on that. I'd rather know what's going on. Moving on to defence, I've got Van Dijk against Sunderland at home, and I know Liverpool's defence has been pretty bad recently, but they've got the second highest clean sheet odds this game week, so he's going nowhere. Just to add to that, I'm not sure how the Liverpool defence has gotten in Game Week 13. This video has been recorded ahead of that fixture. I've actually got the top 3 defences for clean sheet odds this game week, which is perfect straight after my free hit. Lacroix's got Burnley away, and I do fancy Palace for a clean sheet there. They're ranked 3rd in the league for a clean sheet, and Burnley have the lowest XG in the whole league. As always, Arsenal are top of the charts for the clean sheet odds. I've just seen that Saliba's left out of the squad against Chelsea with an injury, so let's hope he can make this fixture. If not, I'll be forced to make a transfer. Taking a look at the fixtures from a defensive perspective, if I was suggesting a goalkeeper, I'd go for Nick Pope if he's fit to play, which is the one that I've got at the minute. Newcastle's defence has been solid this season, and he is 5.2 mil, but I do think that is justified with how good that Newcastle defence has been, on top of the good fixtures. If he's not fit to play or is doubtful, I still think Henderson's a decent pick. He's only 5 mil, Palace defence is decent, and in Game Week 16 when he's got a difficult fixture, Dubravka doesn't, so I'd rotate him out. Actually, if Pope's ruled out long term, I'd be very tempted to go for Ramsdale at 4.8 mil. You get into the same defence, then you save 0.2 mil on Henderson. If you need to buy a defender, then of course the Arsenal defence is the most reliable. I wouldn't mind even tripling up on them if I could, and I would go for Timber right now because he has got the highest ceiling, and I would consider Saliba if he's declared fit, but I don't know whilst this video's being recorded. If you're on a slightly tighter budget, Lacroix is still a really good option. Palace have decent fixtures, the defence isn't bad, and he's right up there as one of the best defenders in the league for defensive contributions. Just quickly covering the outfield players on the bench, João Pedro's on there against Leeds away, and it was quite tight between him and Njai, but the reason I've put Njai in the first team is that he's on penalty duties. Estevan Rodon have got Palace at home and Chelsea at home. At least they've got the home advantage, but they both play for defences that I can't trust. I could easily swap them both around. I don't think there's much between them, but I just think Estev's got the slightly easier fixture out of the two. Captaincy's up in the air this game week because Haaland's got a difficult fixture. He faces a Fulham defence that have very good non-penalty defensive numbers, and that's away from home. Whilst this video's been recorded ahead of Arsenal's fixture, Saka's currently in the mix against Brentford at home, and Mateta faces the worst defence in the league, Burnley, but that is away from home. Whilst he's not got the home advantage, that fixture is so tasty and it's so close this game week that I might even captain him this game week. This is before my data analysis in my best captain video, so it's not locked in. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that video. You won't want to miss it this game week. None of the other picks are locked in either. I'm pretty confident about Game Week 15 and Game Week 17 for Haaland, even though he has blanked in 2 of the last 3. I might actually go against him again in Game Week 16 when Saka faces Wolves at home. That's because Haaland's got Palace away, and that's not an easy fixture. Covering the rest of my midfield. Sarr went off with an injury in Game Week 13, and I really hope it's not severe. I hope he can make that Burnley away fixture because that is juicy. Right now I don't have that information, and you might have that, and I will consider transfer plans shortly. Whilst Enzo's teammate João Pedro's on the bench, I am going to start him against Leeds away because he's got penalty duties. I'd love to have the luxury of starting all 8 attackers this game week, but I've not. I'm going to start Minte against Villa at home, and I know he's not on penalties himself, but what gets him in the team over Pedro is the fact that his non-penalty underlying stats are much more promising. And Jai does have penalty duties, and that just about does get him in the first team against Bournemouth away, because that's not the easiest of fixtures for attackers. Taking a look at the fixtures from an attacking perspective, if you need to buy a midfielder and you can afford him, I'd go for Bruno. He's not got the highest of ceilings because he plays quite deep, but he has got a very high floor, perhaps the highest in the game. If you can't afford him, I'd go for Semenyo. He's not done much for a while, but he is still a good player with good fixtures. As for the forwards, apart from the obvious Haaland, you could get Mateta like I have. You've got scope to captain him this game week. Then, if you're playing with a free forward formation, I think Voltemada's a good option as well. Now for the transfers. I've got 2 free transfers, and there are a few players who are currently flagged in the game. One of them is Nick Pope, another one is Saliba, and another one is Sarr. That's what to speak right now. I hope I don't get any more flags. If somehow my full team is fit, I'm tempted to do João Pedro to a budget forward and upgrade Njai to Bruno, who's got easier fixtures. If Sarr is ruled out, I could do a very similar double transfer, except from sell him instead of Njai to Bruno. If Pope's still injured and it's long term, I might just go straight to Ramsdale for the Newcastle fixtures because their defence is solid. If not, and it is short term, I'll probably just go straight to Henderson to play it safe. If Pope's injured, then that will take priority over the attacking transfers because they were luxury transfers. And that's the same for Saliba. If he was ruled out, then I'm going to go straight to Timber. It does feel like I'm burning a free transfer, but I've got to deal with what I've got right now. The final team reveal will be posted on Patreon, then Twitter. Don't miss that best captain video. It's going to be a cracker. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Before you go, make sure you check out Fantasy 4. It's a free-to-play Premier League fantasy app with cash prizes up for grabs every game week. Just pick a keeper, defender, midfielder and forward using the same scoring and deadlines as FPL. If you fancy a free shot at cash every game week, use the Fantasy 4 link in the description to enter your team. This is how my team's looking this game week. I've doubled up on the highest clean sheet odds, so I'm relying on less outcomes, and I've done the same in attack as well. If Haaland scores, there's a good chance Foden's assisted it. Not as much the other way around, but it does increase the chances of both of them landing at the same time. I recommend entering your own team. It's a free shot at money. You've got nothing to lose.